What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday and happy Halloween. What I want to talk about today is actually tracking your progress in the gym specifically. A lot of people tend to say that they want to increase their lifts, increase their repetitions, and really just be progressively overloading as they continue throughout their progress. And the problem is that a lot of people can't really maintain track of their progress just off the top of their heads. There's a lot of different apps you can use, and I've talked about them in previous videos. I'll put the link in the description below to some of those. Just to name off a few off the top of my head, I know there's Photocracy, I know there's MyFitnessPal, there's a ton of different calorie tracking apps you can get on the Android as well as the iOS App Store, the Apple App Store. I find that I don't really input my information into those too much, mostly because when I'm in the gym and when I'm just working out in general, I don't like to use sort of fancy techie gadgets and devices because you tend to get distracted, especially if you pop open your smartphone and you're going to be putting in all your stuff, and then you get a text message or you get a comment on social media or something like that, so you're going to be checking that just instinctively. So I find that I don't like to grab my phone unless I'm changing music between songs, between sets. I'm just changing the song or something like that. And really, I don't even like to do that too much. I'd rather just go in with a tiny little iPod shuffle and just let that shuffle through. The only problem is I usually like to listen to online radio, trance radio, things like that, which they obviously don't have on the iPod shuffle. So moving on, what I did want to talk about was actually how to track that progress. So if you don't use apps and you're not really comfortable with using apps to do so, you may want to try writing your progress down. And you can do so in any sort of handy little notebook. I've used this one in the past, and this was my very first book when I started really working out, exercising, and my whole fitness transformation, my journey in general. So I used this book. It was nothing fancy. I picked it up for like $1 something at the store, and as you can see here, I just basically wrote down, and there was no particular format when I first started because I didn't really know what I was doing when I was writing it down, but I basically wrote down everything I was doing and made sure that I was continuously tracking and improving on what I was doing as I went through. So I pretty much filled this book up, I mean, let's not say quickly, it's a pretty thick little notepad here, you can see, but I filled it up relatively fast, and this was actually, I mean, I haven't used this thing in a while now, but if I ever need to, I can always go back and see where I was at about a year ago or a little over a year and a half ago. And it's pretty interesting to see because I'm just looking over it today as I was about to do this video, and I see a lot of progression from when I first wrote these workouts down until the books that I'm using now. So this is what I'm actually using now, and this is actually this is my last book. This is my current one that I'm using, but as you can see, it's a little bit more organized. I picked it up from bodybuilding.com, and it came for free with one of my orders. So you can see it's a little bit better formatted. You have the nice tables and different stuff for your sets and reps. I'll just move in here. You can kind of see that. So it's a lot better structured, let's say. Now, you don't necessarily need a fancy book like this, and I call this a fancy book. I mean, you could really just get a normal piece of paper and then just put some lines on it, and it doesn't really matter. As long as you are keeping track in some way, shape, or form. And I'll use a perfect example here, and that I'm noticing that on this particular day, which is going back, actually several months from now, but I noticed that I have a highest squat day of 270 pounds, 4 reps noted here at the bottom. And I also note my meals and everything, but you can see that sort of PR. And that was my PR back then. So it's interesting now because, again, I'm looking at this today and I'm thinking, well, that's pretty cool that I did that. But my actual PR now for squatting is significantly higher. I'm well into the 3s, and I'm doing much more than 4 reps. So I can see that now on my updated book, which I actually have right here as well. So it's the same sort of book I'm still using, same sort of format. And I still got this from bodybuilding.com, but I'm noticing that in this book and in my most recent lifts, I can see significant improvements from my previous ones. So it's a great way to keep track of your progress. Also, when I have a really good lifting day, I usually mark it down or note it, or I wish I had like sticky purple stars or something. I can just be like, good job, and then sort of go back to it if I need to, because I know that on that particular day, that series of exercises or that combination of workouts hitting different muscle groups from different angles, it worked really well for me. I would have gotten a certain significant pump, I would have had high energy, I would have felt great, and then post-workout I most likely felt great as well. So in a lot of pages on this book, and on particular days, I'll tend to just make notes about how I feel and how I felt about the workout, and if I want to go back to that particular workout. So it's a great tool to have, and it's pretty I would say useful if you are interested in applying progressive overload. If you are interested in getting better in the gym, improving your numbers as you go over time. I've found this to work great for me. I think it would work great for you as well. I've suggested it to a few friends of mine, and they've actually applied this method, and they see significant improvements in their focus in the gym because they're not, scattering around trying to think about what to do. It's all right here. You can even write this ahead of time so that you know. I mean, I usually like to go in and write it on the spot, but you can write it ahead of time, watching YouTube videos, taking information online, reading magazines, whatever you got to do. At least you know when you're in there, you can check off when you're done a set. You check it off and you say, okay, next set, next set. This little device here that I have attached to the top, it's used to help keep your rest intervals to a certain number. It's great for high intensity interval training or HIIT training, and it's great for this because it just keeps me on track. I know that if I want to stay 30-second rest time between sets, or between supersets, for instance, you'll notice that I tend to group my workouts in 2 exercises at a time. It's because I do them as supersets. So if I'm keeping my rest intervals 30 seconds between supersets, so between these double sets, then I'll use this because it'll beep or vibrate or do something to let me know, hey, you know what? No more resting, get back to the next superset. So it's a great tool to have as well. If you were to pick up one of these, it was really cheap. I mean, they're like $5, $10. You can get them anywhere. You can use your phone. Again, I don't like to use my phone too much in the gym. Or you can use a watch. If you got like a little stopwatch or something like that, you can pick one up for pretty cheap. So really, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's all I really wanted to go over today. For the most part, I tend to do a unique workout every single day. And not so much unique in terms of the muscle groups I'm focusing on, but unique in terms of the exercises. And that's just simply because I like to keep my body guessing. I like to just not really stay consistent to the same sort of workout pattern, because at that point you tend to plateau. You tend to start noticing that you've slowed down in terms of your progressive overload. Your numbers here won't be increasing at the same sort of steady pace as they would have if you were to change your workout daily. So that's what I've been doing. I tend to really do mix it up every single day. I very rarely go back to a previous day that I've written up unless it has one of those, I'm not really a purple star, but unless it has one of those little check marks or whatever it's saying to go back and it was a great day. But that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you. That's all I wanted to let you know about. If you do write down your workouts, leave it in the comment section down below. Let me know. If you've got it uploaded somewhere, if you've taken some pictures of it, or if you have it written out, just let me know what your workout plans are actually like. I mean, do you tend to do the same workouts on different days? I mean, do you try to mix it up like I do? Let me know what it is that you're doing, because I'm interested in that stuff. Outside of that, what I did want to actually announce was the winner of the winner of the actual giveaway, which I just did, which is for a Beastie product. So the winner for this particular Beastie product, and I pretty much chose this at random. It was sort of like I just took all the comments from the different social networks. There was quite a few across all of them, put them into a hat, and then drew the name out of the hat. And the individual who will be winning this Beastie product is, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Lacroix. So I'll put the name in the description down below, and you can have a look at that. Congratulations, Ty. I'll be sending you a message, and I will be getting your address to send you this Beastie product. And I'll be doing a lot more giveaways in the future, so stay tuned, stay subscribed for that. If you are interested in even more giveaways on any particular stuff, let me know. Leave it in the comment section down below. I'll probably be giving away mostly fitness-related gear. However, there are probably going to be some tech gadgets and things like that as well, because it's sort of what I'm into. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Again, let me know what your workout routine is. Leave it in the comment section down below. Congratulations, Ty, and I hope you enjoy the Beastie. That's it. Take care.